This video will hurt a little. But if you stay until the end, it might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Because the truth is, you're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you're still lying to yourself. Before we go deeper, hit that subscribe button if you're tired of sugar-coated motivation and want raw truth, weekly, the kind that shakes your soul and pushes you forward. Now let's get honest. You say you've tried everything. You say you're doing your best. You say the timing just isn't right yet. But deep down, you know that's not the full story. You're not stuck because of your job. Or your family. Or your bank account. You're stuck because you've made it okay to stay stuck. And you've convinced yourself that waiting is safer than failing. That comfort is better than change. That someday, when life calms down, you'll finally take the leap. But guess what? Someday isn't coming. You've built a life around almost. Almost starting. Almost deciding. Almost becoming the person you want to be. And every time you almost do it, you feel a spark of hope. Followed by the same old fear. Fear of what they'll think. Fear of looking stupid. Fear of not being good enough. And so, you retreat back into the familiar. Scrolling. Dreaming. Overthinking. Let me say this clearly, if you don't confront this brutal truth now, you will still be here, in the exact same place, 1 year from today. But here's the good news. You don't need a miracle. You don't need permission. You just need a moment of radical honesty with yourself. And that moment starts now. The lie you keep telling yourself. You've probably said this to yourself more times than you can count, I just need a little more time. Sounds innocent, right? Even reasonable. But it's not the truth. It's the most dangerous lie you keep repeating. Because a little more time quickly becomes months. Then years. Then a lifetime of regret. And here's what makes this lie so seductive, it gives you the illusion of progress. Without any of the pain of real action. You feel like you're moving. But you're just circling the same excuses over and over again. I need to figure it out first. I'm not ready yet. It's just not the right season. But you know what? Nobody who ever changed their life started from a place of being completely ready. They just got sick of the lies. They got tired of their own voice echoing the same story that kept them small. If you're honest, it's not time that you need. It's courage. The courage to start messy. The courage to fail publicly. The courage to disappoint others in order to finally show up for yourself. Right now, you might be waiting for confidence to come before you act. But it doesn't work like that. Confidence isn't the entry fee, it's the reward you earn after you've stepped into the unknown. You build it one brave decision at a time. And until you decide to trade comfort for courage, you will keep finding clever ways to stay exactly where you are. Smart enough to know better, but scared enough to never begin. So ask yourself this right now, what lie have you been telling yourself? That's keeping you stuck? And are you finally ready to stop repeating it? Because the second you let go of that lie, even if it's painful, you create room for truth to grow. And truth is where change begins. The cost of staying stuck. Here's something no one talks about enough, doing nothing still has a cost. We think that by staying in our comfort zone, we're protecting ourselves. But what we're really doing is sacrificing our potential in slow motion. Every day you don't take action, every dream you shelve for later, every idea you never explore, that's a silent vote for a version of your life that doesn't truly fulfill you. Let me ask you something, what has staying stuck already cost you? How many sleepless nights, wondering what if? How many times have you seen someone else do what you wanted to do? And felt that sting of regret? How many relationships have suffered because you've been too consumed by fear, shame, or unhealed pain to fully show up? These aren't theoretical questions. These are emotional debts that build up over time, and they come due eventually. You lose self-trust. You lose momentum. You start to forget who you were before fear made the decisions for you. And the worst part? You begin to believe that this version of you, the one stuck, anxious, hesitant, is all you'll ever be. But let me tell you something honest and maybe a little uncomfortable: if nothing changes. Nothing changes. You don't just wake up one day in a different life. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It's a product of choice, daily, repeated, uncomfortable choices that move you 1 inch closer to who you were meant to be. And yes, growth is hard. Yes, healing hurts. Yes, becoming the next version of you will feel like dying a little inside. But so does staying stuck in a life that doesn't fit your soul. So the question is no longer, can I do it? You can. The real question is, are you willing to pay the price of staying stuck? For 1 more year? Because 1 more year turns into 5. And 5 becomes a decade. And then suddenly you're living with more regret than dreams. You weren't made for that. You know it. That fire you feel in your chest when you think about what could be, that's your soul trying to wake you up. Don't ignore it. The mirror moment. There comes a moment, in every story, in every life, where the character has to look in the mirror. Not just glance. But truly see. See what they've become. See what they've avoided. See what they've been pretending doesn't matter. And this is your moment. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. I want you to ask yourself, not casually, not in passing, but with all the weight and honesty you can carry, am I proud of who I'm becoming? If I met the 10-year-old version of me, would they be excited? Or disappointed? What parts of me have I silenced, just to stay comfortable? This is the moment where you stop pointing fingers. Where you stop blaming your past, your parents, your boss, your ex, or even bad luck. Because as long as you keep blaming the outside, you're giving away your power. And the brutal truth? No one is coming to save you. Not in the way you hope. Not in the way that fixes everything. Yes, you'll find support. Yes, mentors and friends and books and videos like this one can help. But no one can do your healing for you. No one can force you to get up earlier. No one can make you face your fears. No one can choose growth on your behalf. That's on you. And that's the most powerful truth you'll ever learn. Because once you take ownership, once you say, this is my life, and I'm responsible for what happens next, everything changes. Suddenly, the mountain doesn't seem so impossible. The pain doesn't feel so permanent. The past doesn't define you, it prepares you. Your mirror moment isn't about shame. It's about clarity. You finally stop pretending. You stop running. You stop numbing yourself with distractions and start asking the real question, what if everything I've been waiting for was actually waiting for me to step up? This is your invitation to stop living passively. To stop hiding behind what's comfortable. To stop settling for a version of life that was never meant for you. Look in the mirror. See yourself clearly. And then decide, not someday, but right now, who you're going to be. What real growth looks like. Everyone talks about personal growth, but what does that actually mean? Does it mean waking up at 5 a.m. every day? Reading 100 books a year? Meditating on a mountain for 3 weeks? Not necessarily. Real growth isn't loud. It doesn't always look impressive from the outside. Sometimes, it looks like you, sitting alone, choosing not to send that angry message. Sometimes, it's you saying no when you used to say yes just to avoid conflict. Sometimes, it's allowing yourself to rest without guilt. Growth looks like a whisper, not a scream. It looks like asking better questions. It looks like holding space for discomfort, and choosing not to run. Most of the time, it's not glamorous. You'll lose people. You'll outgrow environments. You'll realize that your old habits, while familiar, are quietly destroying you. But the reward? Peace. Direction. Strength. You become someone who no longer needs the world's approval to feel valuable. You don't need constant distraction to avoid being alone with your thoughts. You don't panic when plans fall apart, because you've built resilience within. Here's what growth actually looks like in real life: you pause before reacting. You listen more than you speak. You stop blaming. You hold yourself accountable, not because it's trendy, but because it's necessary. You care less about being liked and more about being true. And you begin to understand something powerful: growth isn't about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. You were always enough. But life layered fear, shame, and self-doubt on top of you. Growth is the process of peeling those layers off, piece by piece. It's not linear. You'll take steps forward, then fall back. You'll doubt yourself. You'll mess up. You'll want to quit. That's okay. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is alignment, to live a life that matches your values, your truth, and your potential. And guess what? Every small shift, every uncomfortable choice, every act of courage, they compound. Not instantly. But inevitably. That's how real change happens. The breakthrough, the moment you decide. Change doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins in a quiet, private moment. When you say, "I'm done living this way." No big announcement. No fireworks. Just a deep, internal decision, and everything shifts. Breakthrough isn't always loud. Sometimes it's simply choosing to believe, "I deserve more than survival." You stop negotiating with your limits. You stop waiting for permission. You stop replaying the past on loop, hoping it ends differently. That's the moment. The decision to heal. To grow. To begin again. No, you don't feel ready. You probably still carry fear. But this time, you move anyway. That's the breakthrough. Start before you're ready. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. Waiting for the perfect moment is just another form of fear, disguised as patience. Start now. Start with small steps, imperfect and shaky. Start with one decision to show up for yourself. Because action creates clarity. Movement breaks chains. Courage grows from doing, not thinking. Every expert, every successful person you admire, they all started before they were ready. So don't wait. Begin your journey today. Right here, right now. Your new beginning starts today. Remember, the brutal truth that's keeping you stuck isn't a punishment, it's an invitation. An invitation to face yourself honestly, to break free from what's holding you back. You have the power to rewrite your story. You have the strength to heal wounds and rise stronger than ever. It all starts with a choice, the choice to refuse to stay stuck. To embrace discomfort as a sign of growth. To keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. So here's your challenge: choose today to start your transformation. Don't let another day pass in the same place. If this video spoke to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Join a community of warriors who refuse to settle for less than they deserve. Together, we'll uncover more truths, break more chains, and build better lives. Your new beginning starts now. Practical steps to break free. Now that you've understood the brutal truth and why it's holding you back, it's time to take real action. Step 1. Acknowledge the pain. You can't heal what you don't admit is hurting. Be honest with yourself about what's really keeping you stuck. Step 2. Reflect and write. Put your thoughts and feelings on paper. You don't have to send this letter to anyone, this is for your own clarity and release. Step 3. Use psychological tools. Try techniques like the empty chair exercise, keeping a journal of your emotions, or guided forgiveness meditations. These tools help you process and let go. Step 4. Stop waiting for the right moment. There's no perfect time to heal. The moment is now. Start small, start imperfectly, but start. Step 5. Build a support system. Reach out to trusted friends, mentors, or professionals. Healing is easier when you don't do it alone. Remember, change is a process, not an event. Every small step forward adds up to a big transformation. It's time to stop living in the shadows of what's holding you back. The brutal truth is this: until you face it head-on, you will remain stuck. But here's the good news: you have the power to break free. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It takes courage, patience, and action. Every step you take toward facing your truth is a step toward reclaiming your life and your freedom. If you found value in this message, don't just watch and go, subscribe to this channel. Here, we confront the hard truths that no one else dares to speak. Every week, you'll get real, raw insights that challenge you, inspire you, and push you to grow. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join this community of warriors who refuse to stay stuck. Your breakthrough starts today.